Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian's Weather Forecast. And this is going to be another major update on Winter Storm Pearl. This time, we're also going to be focusing on the severe weather part of the system. So we're going to be focusing on the major snow updates and also severe weather. This could definitely be possibly the biggest severe weather outbreak in the Midwest and Ozarks so far this year. And this is going to be bringing a taste of spring as we are getting awfully close to spring. We are now 3 days away from the spring solstice. And again, also, we're going to be seeing major updates with the National Weather Service for the next couple of hours. Again, we still have these blizzard warnings in effect. They are getting closer and closer to Casper, Wyoming, and they are spreading a bit more now into Colorado. We now have blizzard warnings as well. We can also be possibly seeing whiteout conditions, tornadoes, hail, and also possibly seeing a ton of ice. So Winter Storm Pearl or Blizzard Pearl will be a major system and be affecting millions out here into the Plains and Ozarks. But without further ado, let's get in the video. Be sure to subscribe if you are new, and bye guys. So, of course, we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service. Again, we still have windstorm warnings out here for the scattered areas in the higher elevations in New Mexico, Colorado, and far, again, northern Arizona, especially near Flagstaff and near Prescott. We are just outside of a winter weather advisory. Again, we just had a 5.7 earthquake earlier today in Salt Lake City. Hope everybody's okay, but we are now dealing with a snow threat in these areas. So, I really hope people can find a way to find shelter before we start seeing the snow, of course. And again, here we have the blizzard warnings. Of course, we have a new state in town under blizzard warnings, and that's actually now Colorado, which we'll be looking at very soon. Again, we still have Cheyenne now. Look, we actually now have Casper very close to the blizzard warnings. We have Lusk, we have Torrington, we have Harrisburg, Scottsbluff, Alliance, Bridgeport, Sidney, and Chattering, all into western Nebraska, where we have those those blizzard warnings. And now for the blizzard warnings out here into far northeastern Colorado, that's where Castle Rock, Deer Trail, Greeley, Sterling, Akron, Fort Morgan. Again, Denver, the metro area, is just really close to these blizzard warnings, which is actually not good. We are definitely having major threats for here near Fort Collins, Georgetown, Fairplay, and Denver, and then also into the western Rockies in Colorado. We do have winter weather advisories. Now, again, we have windstorm warnings now throughout the areas for North Platte, also very close to the blizzard warnings, as you guys can tell. North Platte is in the winter weather advisories, and then we have Valentine, like I said earlier, Springview under windstorm warnings. And again, this is definitely going to be a lot worse by tomorrow. We'll be seeing severe thunderstorm warnings, severe thunderstorm watches all over the plains and all of that. But now we are going to be looking out here into the European radar. Again, here in the next 18 hours, we'll start seeing the snow developing out here. And here's the severe weather threat right here for today. We're going to start seeing very strong bands into Oklahoma, Texas. And this is going to move way up northward with the low pressure system. That's going to bring in a really strong bands, especially as it's incredibly close to this low pressure system. It really scatters snow showers in Utah and Colorado. It'll get a lot more organized as we get tomorrow in the next 24 hours here. Tomorrow, early afternoon Western Standard Time, we will be seeing blizzard conditions without a doubt into western Colorado, Arizona, and also Utah. In the next 36 hours, it's going to completely change. Look at the amount of rain we'll be seeing out here coming into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and the Mississippi Valley. All of these areas will be seeing incredibly heavy rain, and severe weather chances have gone up a ton within the past 24 hours. If you asked me yesterday if there were going to be really strong bands in these areas, I will say very slim, a slight chance. But now we are seeing an enhanced risk out here for Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky. Again, also going to be seeing it's incredibly heavy snowfall. We have two major low pressure systems that's going to increase the amount of snowfall, and also going to make these low pressure systems and make these cells into the bands and these severe weather bands a lot a lot worse and a lot stronger. Again, blizzard conditions for Denver, Colorado, out there near Valentine, Nebraska, North Platte, Cheyenne, also going to get very heavy snow. Starting to see a mix of a threat for ice and freezing rain for Rochester, Minneapolis, and Eau Claire, and Sioux Falls will also be getting quite the heavy snowfall. Within the next 48 hours now, it'll all be mostly over. Start seeing this really heavy rain coming towards the northeast, and for once we'll start seeing the southeast avoiding this heavy, incredibly heavy rain until it comes into, of course, the weekend. But it's actually a lot lighter rain than we usually see during these major snowstorms, of course. And as we get closer into spring, we'll be seeing more of a severe weather threat and flooding. Now we're going to be looking at the next 18 hours here in the GFS. Again, new update here. Next updates in with exactly 1 hour. Again, start seeing this really heavy snow in the Four Corner states. Again, nothing really new. This higher elevations, nothing extraordinary, nothing really major there. But in the next 30 hours, everything changes. We are seeing blizzard conditions towards the areas in central Colorado. Start seeing that snow developing near Aberdeen, Rapid City as well. And then the next 42 hours, again, look at this incredibly heavy rain coming towards the Ohio Valley, moving towards the area out here to the Ozarks, seeing some really heavy snow now for Rochester, Eau Claire, again, near all the way to northwestern Kansas. Start seeing that snow, still seeing the flurries in Denver, and then that'll be mostly it here. Now, time to look at the NAM 3KM models. It's going to be both for snowfall and the severe weather here. Again, we're going to be seeing incredibly heavy bands within the next 20 hours tomorrow. Again, the worst severe weather will be tomorrow. Very strong bands. I might actually have two separate videos, if not one extremely long video on the severe weather and snowfall covering it. So tomorrow is definitely a big day to start covering it. It's up again. Incredibly heavy bands moving towards Texas, and extraordinary heavy bands moving towards out there near Wichita. Also, again, seeing this very strong snow bands out here in the western Colorado, making its way closer to Cheyenne. In the next 24 hours here, this is when the severe weather is probably going to be really, really heavy, or really just really bad at this point, getting to the dangerous risk at this point. Seeing strong bands moving to northern Missouri. That's where we'll possibly see the worst severe weather, especially in the Kansas and Missouri border near Kansas City. South of Kansas City is probably will be seeing a really big threat and potentially very high risk for seeing tornadoes. Very strong bands moving towards Omaha at that point. Seeing this snow from Pearl starting to arrive into, again, eastern Wyoming at this point awfully soon, the next 24 hours. And then as we now get the next 30 hours, it's actually move this back to where it actually should be. So yeah, this is where we've seen this severe weather not only turning into really heavy rain, but potential flooding. Again, very strong rain moving towards Indianapolis, very strong bands for Chicago, Waterloo, Rochester, Minneapolis, Green Bay, Wisconsin Dells. And look at this incredibly heavy snowfall. Blizzard condition for Valentine, North Platte, moving towards southern South Dakota. The next 35 hours, this really heavy rain this really strong severe weather will just maintain into the now rain, as it's getting awfully far for at this time of the year to see really strong severe weather. So it's going to be you're going to be seeing mostly green instead of this really purplish red color. That's where we see those warmer temperatures, especially right next to the low pressure system. We'll have two waves coming towards the plains with snowfall. Again, seeing that snow near Sioux Falls, getting out there to south central Minnesota. And then next 40 hours, seeing some more snow out here into now getting to Iowa, bring some additional snow for Wisconsin Dells, and that's going to be mainly it. Time to look at today's severe weather threat. I'm actually thinking about doing another video separate just for the severe weather later this evening. Hopefully I will, if all depending if I play tennis later tonight. But again, the marginal, we have 22 million people there. That's going to be including Phoenix. Again, like I said, that's the moisture that's creating this snowstorm. So, of course, we're going to be seeing incredibly heavy rain towards Phoenix. And, of course, once we have rain, we mostly have a marginal risk because that's really how it is there in San Antonio, Austin, Nashville, and Tucson. And then also we have Kansas City, Wichita, again, also near El Paso, and including out there near Austin. Now we also are going to be seeing right here in the slight chance 8 million people in that slight chance. So that's where we're going to be seeing a step up for severe weather. We're going to be seeing maybe the worst band's going to get a bit closer to you. Higher risk for tornadoes, winds, and hail, damaging hail. And that's going to be for Dallas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Arlington, and Plano. So really big cities in the South Central. That's definitely where we're seeing the worst of the severe weather. The second worst. And now time to check out the enhanced risk. That's what we've seen the worst of the severe weather. Biggest chances for everything. That's for 4 million people today. So if you're in an enhanced risk, you're definitely going to expect extremely strong bands. That's for Fort Worth, Abilene, Norman, and Wichita, and even Denton. Tornado threats are also incredibly high now. We have actually 3 areas with a 2% chance, and that's actually not necessarily really good right now. We do not want to see 3 separate areas see a 2% chance. We don't want to see anywhere see a 2% chance, because 2% chance is actually, in words, is like a 35% chance, really. We've had tornadoes. We have had multiple EF3s, EF4s in areas that have a 2% chance. So again, 2% chance. As long as you have a chance for a tornado, you really have to watch the news in case that can definitely move it to 5 and then 10%. The 5% chance, that's where we're definitely seeing a really high chance for tornadoes. That's going to be for around 7 million people for Dallas, Oklahoma City, Arlington, Plano, and Garland. And the 10% chance, that is a really, really good chance. Basically, in other words, more than a 50% chance. I know it does not say it there, but when you have a 10% chance in the Storm Prediction Center, that's really, really high, especially since you're in that enhanced risk. You have Fort Worth, Abilene, Wichita Falls, and also Louisville. The wind threat is also really high, but maintaining and not an incredibly high threat. And so the 30% chance was actually really high, but at least it's not a 45 or 60% chance. And that's going to be maintained for around 3 million people. And then the hail threat's also really low at this point, 15% chance. Again, the hail and wind threats aren't like tornadoes, because of course wind and hail is way more likely than a tornado. But when you're under 15% chance and hail, it's actually not that bad, but just really watch out, because again, there is still a chance. And now out here into the tomorrow. This is what we have. This is what we really have to worry about here. Tomorrow is definitely going to be the worst of your weather day of the week. Marginal is getting up to a crazy 28 million people, all the way from San Antonio, moving all the way near the Michigan coast. Again, that's going to be affecting Columbus, Ohio. Also going to be affecting Dallas, Austin, affecting the Wichita areas, affecting Wisconsin Dells. Yeah, definitely a lot of people are going to be really affected by the severe weather tomorrow. That's why it's such a big threat. Slight chances are even higher at 31 million people. That's guys, we don't really see these numbers of people. We don't really see the yellows and oranges this big. And yes, we do, but also don't at this point in March. But again, this is one of the months that usually we see maybe more snow than really rain, but this is incredibly high. That's actually major cities. We have Cincinnati, Kansas City, Louisville, Milwaukee, and Chicago, all under the yellow. So if a city hasn't been named and you know you're in the yellow, then again, you're still in a slight percent chance. And enhanced is actually at a whopping 10 million people. That's for Indianapolis, Omaha, St. Louis, Des Moines, and Little. Like I said, if you're near St. Louis and the border out here in the Mississippi River, you're really going to get extremely heavy rain and an incredibly big chance for severe weather, especially if you're in the Kansas and Missouri border. I also think you'll be seeing incredibly huge chances for severe weather, and I actually personally think you guys should be in the enhanced risk. Now it's time to look at snowfall totals here for with Storm Pearl here. Again, we're going to be seeing expected now up to a foot of snowfall for Denver. So that's why we're getting closer and closer to the blizzard warnings there. Now snowfall totals have gone down for Cheyenne to up to now only 7 to 9 inches of snowfall. So it's expecting a foot of snowfall for southwestern Colorado and much of Arizona, especially near Colorado. That's what we'll be seeing up to 19 inches there. We will be expecting up to around a foot as well for Colorado Springs, if not 6 to 9 inches of snowfall. And totals have gone extremely low now for Nebraska, only expecting 2 to 5 inches, and that's going to be for northern Nebraska. So again, really low totals here. And yeah, I hope you got into the video, and bye guys.